Right there, hello there people, how are we doing? So it is the 28th of January, it's 48 hours since the Rust rotation happened, and we need to discuss all of the skins of the week. But what we also want to talk about today is what's likely going to happen next week. What can we expect? What interesting things might we see over the course of the next few days, and as of next week, what will we see with that potential new update on the horizon? So let's just save that for a bit later. Let's now focus these skins. Let's talk about Arctic collection skins. So we have the Burlap shoes. Not surprised to see it selling so well. We have hardly any skins, as you can see, and well, a lot of people probably saw, wow, these are all expensive. Surely these ones will be as well. Well, with the amount of sales that we already have, we've already beaten fish shoes. Now this came out like almost 3 years ago, back in 2020. So yeah, I mean, it is part of a collection now, which is kind of flourishing. We have all of this, and well, it makes for very nice, cheap camouflage in the snowy environment. So you have that as a nice advantage, don't you? But with the inclusion of this, we have seen the likes of these going up in price. So how about we take a quick look at that? With the introduction of these, all of these had a spike in interest and a big chunk of stock was bought out. So if we, so here we are, Arctic Camo Poncho. Very, 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 very surprised to see the day has finally come where the Arctic Camo Poncho is selling better than $1. Like, for the longest time, you have to understand, for the longest time, the Arctic Camo Poncho was, like, unloved. It had no home. It had no place. Yes, it was the first poncho skin to be made in about 2 years, but then suddenly, all of a sudden, we had tons of poncho skins being accepted. So it suffered greatly because there was like 43,000 of them that are bought and in circulation, and it was a struggle. But ever since post-Christmas happened, and ever since the new skins were accepted, we've only been jumping up and up and up. It's literally like steps, step, step, step. So if we do see some more Arctic camouflage skins being accepted, it's only going to keep going up and up and up and up. But the main point was, we had about 700 quantity when I looked at this on Thursday. Now it's only got 400. And now you might sit there and say, oh, is this going to mean it's going to instantly become better? Is it going to flourish and become a great skin, a very valuable skin? Well, at the end of the day, if you bought these, you've only just barely made a profit now if you sell them now. And we do have that problem of big fat quantities here. Now, we had big fat quantities around $1 before we had those skins accepted, the most recent ones. So yeah, that was existing. I guess people either just bought them out, or whoever had these listed removed them and listed them ever so slightly higher. If they were smart, they'd all remove their listings and just sell them in batches of 5. You know, I've told you about momentum and trying to stop yourselves from accidentally killing the momentum, and well, all of this, too much resistance, and it's just completely made it stop. So this poncho probably easily could have got up to about $2 if all of this didn't exist. I mean, look at that, no resistance all here. Easily could have got up to $2.50, but no, all of this exists, unfortunately. So if these people did remove theirs, then it could easily jump back up. But, you know, we'll leave that for now. We also have the likes of the Arctic Burlap pants, and, well, these have shot up to $2. Very, very nice. Now, these sold almost just as much as the poncho, but because they came out a lot more recently, along with the shirt, because they only recently just came out, they never had the time where loads of people started shoveling all of their quantity on the Steam market. So they just instantly went up with the new pieces being accepted. And we didn't have a poncho situation where we had tons of quantity appearing on the Steam market. So yes, you can see that nice rise. It's not an insane jump, but that is double the money. That is double the money there. And back down to over to here, yep. So this double the money. So yeah, reactionary nature of the Rust economy. It's a very nice thing. And it wasn't even a core piece. This is Burlap, but we don't see Burlap skins being accepted that much. So I guess that's getting a whole lot of attention because of it. And as I said, in terms of in-game, the resources to make all of that doesn't cost that much. Now, at the moment, in terms of real-life money, that also doesn't cost that much either. So if you want a nice, cheap, snowy camouflage, it's right available there to you. But a lot of people are probably thinking about that, and that's the reason why this has gotten very popular all of a sudden. So, yeah, that is looking cool, and as time goes on, wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if we do potentially get some more Arctic collection skins being accepted, and I wouldn't be surprised if that rises up in price again. Now, what I should point out is Demon, I've mentioned this before, but I'll mention it again. Demon, the guy that made the skins, he, for the longest time, was making loads of Arctic skins, and for the longest time, unfortunately, he didn't get his accepted. What I'm saying is there's probably a decent chance he's going to go back to hide clothing and try and make a version 2 of this. And if that gets accepted, all the better. But because we got the pizza stuff being accepted this week, I wouldn't be surprised if he makes a version 2 of this. So we'll have to wait a while, because this week is Valentines Skins submissions only, so we have to be prepared for that. And yeah, so keep an eye out. We are definitely going to be seeing some more Arctic skins being made. I'm pretty sure Mr. Demon is very motivated to make a whole lot more. So that is a very nice thing to see, and it's very nice to see the Arctic ponchos finally getting somewhere. But now we need to talk about what is going to happen to these two. So this usually happens in a situation where when we have the end or the final core piece of a skin collection, the final one to be accepted can be in a bit of an odd position. Like, what I'm saying is, with these two, at the moment, I'm looking at the sales, and I don't think we're going to reach 30,000 sales. Like, it's slower, a lot slower than the other skins that we had in that collection. So I think it actually might be a perfectly fine thing to jump in and buy. Now, the added question is, will we potentially see some more Arctic collection skins being accepted? I think we will. You never know. It could be weapons. It could be deplorables. It could happen. And as I said, with so many skins accepted in such a short amount of time, wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if Demon does make some more. But what else could he make in terms of clothing? Gloves? Sure. Would he want to make a hoodie and pants? Sure. Could he make armour, as in actual armour? Yeah, he could. So there's a lot of potential there still. He hasn't had a core piece, well, he hasn't submitted a core piece yet. And, well, maybe we could potentially see some more Arctic protection clothing and armour being made in the near future. So if that does happen, this could easily jump up in price. And because we haven't really matched up so far to the amount of sales that this lot had, this could easily jump up a whole lot more because there's a lot less in circulation. So just keep that in mind. You can still sit and wait until Wednesday or Thursday, look at the sales and make a decision then. That's fine. I probably will do that. But looking at that at the moment, I think we're going to be in a good position. Now there's also the added thing of, we just don't see many Burlap Headwraps being accepted anymore. Yeah. It's been about 1.5 years since we had all of this, yeah. And let me point out to you, there was a lot of submissions. There was a lot of submissions for Burlap Headwraps during 2022. None of them were accepted. But this gets accepted. And then we got the, as I mentioned, Burlap shoes. There's hardly any of that exist. So I'm going to sit here and say as well, I wouldn't be surprised if we don't see any Burlap shoes and Burlap Headwrap skins for quite some time. So there is the added benefit of that. So on the horizon, these two skins are looking to be in a perfectly good position. Haven't sold so much. We're very likely not going to see any more skins of these items. And I fully expect Arctic Collection to get even more skins being submitted and potentially accepted. It's in a prime position. So let's see what happens next. And do you know what you can also do? You can always go to the workshop pages for these skins. You can read the comments. You can ask, hey, Demon, love the skin. What are you going to make next? Or can you make some more? Show your support, give him some motivation, and ask, hey, is there going to be any more skins being made? Leather gloves. There you go. Now we know. He wants to make gloves. Maybe he'll make boots. Yeah. So, yeah. All you have to do is ask. Just say some nice words. Say you like it. It gives them inspiration and motivation, and it's very, very nice. So, very cool. Right. Now we've got the Dungeon Garage Door. Dungeon Garage Door, you're not selling as much as I would expect, but that's also fine. Why? Because literally just the previous week we had a very nice looking and expensive garage door, which is now slightly below its rust price. But yeah, that was expected. I wouldn't be surprised by that. But yeah, this had 23,000 sales and was on sale for $4. Now, what I'm trying to point out is this new one's $3.50, $3.49, And if picture it like this: everyone that wanted a new garage door skin probably just went and bought one last week for $4. Do you reckon they really have the money to want to buy another one? Do you really think they want to buy another one? That is why I don't think this is selling as much as I was expecting. I still think we will probably get to around 20,000 sales, but it's no dig on the design. Stepan, you did a very cool job with this, a very good job that we need to discuss in terms of. You see this lower part here, when it's on the floor, depending on the surface that you have, you can actually see through that. Now, if you have like a half wall put up, you can actually see through the gap. So depending on how you make your bases, that right there is actually a great advantage to have. So we will discuss this in the Saturday Skin Showcase. Keep an eye out for that. But that right there is a very useful thing. And technically speaking, it's see-through. That right there, that little gap that you can see through there is see-through. You can see people's feet. And that might be just enough for many people to say, you know what, that's exactly what I need for my base. So, yeah, just wanted to point that out. And we do know, Stepan does plan to make even more skins. Yep, this is turning into a full-fledged dungeon deplorable collection. But what we also need to be aware of is next week is only going to be some older submissions being accepted, but that furnace could be accepted in that batch. But yeah, we're not going to be seeing anything new being submitted for at least 2 weeks. Yeah, 2 weeks. So yeah, unless he wants to make a dungeon Valentine. What type of weird things do you get up to in your bases? Now, we'll leave that aside. So anyway, cool idea. It's turning into a nice collection, and the Dungeon Armour Door didn't really jump up in price, which is something I wanted to point out. When this was accepted, I was expecting the Armour Door to jump up in price, but it didn't really. It did a little bit, but it went back down again. That was quick. So it went from about $2, jumped up to about $2.50 at one point, and then it went back down again. That's not very good. But hey, there's not too many on the Steam market, and if we keep seeing more dungeon skins being accepted, wouldn't be surprised if this flourishes because of it. I think people are still cautious about armoured doors this year. With so many accepted last year in 2022, I think people are like, I don't know, maybe I do, maybe I don't. It's a cool looking door though, all of these are, and I fully expect to see even more being made. So, in terms of, should we buy it? It's abnormal, I don't want to rush into buying it. But with the lack of, with less sales compared to the garage door last week, that's given me optimism. But the one thing I want to point out, and I already mentioned it, that's already going below its rush door price. In fact, we could check now. It's getting close to it at least. Yes, it is. It is below its rush door price. So this could be the same future for that dungeon garage door. Now, probably half the reason why this happened is because we got a new garage door immediately the week after. So that could be the reason why. Or the fact that people just don't care about Lunar New Year skins already. But both of these garage doors that we see here, and we've had how many accepted so far this year? It's only been 4 weeks and we've had 3 garage doors accepted already. If we keep seeing loads of garage doors being accepted, that could be a problem for these 3 garage doors that have come out. And yes, these are now slightly below their rush door price. But we have to wait and see what else is potentially being accepted. The Constellations garage door is also in the same position. We very likely will see some more skins being accepted for its collection, but we need to wait and see. So that's the problem. We're sitting ducks. So maybe it's best we just sit around and do our buy orders because it's abnormal. And yeah, you get the idea. So, alright then, we shall move on to discussing what prices we might want to do for it at the moment. At the moment, seeing that other garage door, we probably want to do about $2.50, maybe $3. That is as of now. I need to see the sales, and we need to discuss that for the abnormal buy orders, which will be happening in just a few days. Yeah, and don't forget, the only 2 abnormals this week are this one and this one. Alright, let's now move on to talking about the pizza hide pants and vest. Or hide shirt, whatever it is. But one thing I just want to point out, and some of you might have noticed it, SCMM seems to be a bit screwed up with its tags this week. This isn't supposed to be marketable. This isn't abnormal. This and this and these two aren't abnormal. Only these two skins are abnormal. Just want to make sure that everybody's aware of that. I have to tell Bipolar Penguin it. Anyway, let's talk about the pizza hide pants and shirt. This is the first hide shirt and pants skins to be accepted in almost 6 years. Yes, I'm not joking, almost 6 years. It's been that long. And well, kind of surprised to not see it sell. Like, I expected this to be the top selling skins, but apparently not. But yeah, we are getting ourselves a nice pizza collection. We are potentially going to be seeing some more. And if you read into the workshop, has anyone asked that already? No, that's not yet. What about the shirt? Has anybody talked about it? Because I have spoken to Jimmick himself. Are you planning on making roadside coming soon? Yes, right. So, yep. Him and Lysane, yep. So, yeah, they want to make some more, but they wanted to take a break this week, they told me. So, on the horizon, will there be more pizza stuff being made? Yes. Will it be accepted? I don't know. But hey, you know, feel free to offer your support for what you see there. Is it wacky? Is it silly? Yes it is. One trend that we've noticed recently is for the last week of the month, so the week before the White Day, Face Punch tends to be a bit more lenient with the wacky picks, and you tend to see people that rarely ever get skins accepted. I mean, not bad trip, but yeah. So we noticed this trend, and for next month, we should be prepared for something like this happening again. But, these and these have been steadily doing quite alright. But if you can remember, what was the last roster rotation of December? It had pizza skins. So, wacky pick. Right then. So, in terms of what we want to do, honestly, as I just showed you, the hide stuff, we don't see many hide skins being accepted anymore. I actually made quite a fuss about it 2 or 3 months ago, back in November, talking about with so many of these skins being submitted, because yes, there were submissions. Remember, there was Arctic hide shirt and pants that were submitted, but they weren't accepted. So that was when I made my video talking about, will Face Punch ever accept more of these? And well, they did, but 3 months later. So yeah, we know for a fact that we're very likely going to be seeing more pizza collection skins being made. We know for a fact that it's going to happen in about 2 weeks. So if you're being impatient, just wait a bit. Apparently, it could be boots, it could be gloves. You never know. It's on the horizon. We're going to have to sit here and wait a bit. Maybe we also get a Burlap Headwrap as well. Maybe we need to be covered in pizza, like strange pizza monsters. Maybe you want to dress up as a pizza monster and just attack people randomly at night time. I don't know. A lot of people were making jokes about that, where you die and the last thing that you see with your eyes as you look up is a person dressed up as a pizza. So you can whack people round the head and say, Domino's delivery. Stupid things like that. You can do that. It's up to you. But yeah, this isn't abnormal. So we have to figure out what do we want to do. Now, in terms of sales, it's not as much as I was expecting. I still reckon we're going to have around 15,000 sales each. But I am looking at that and I am thinking I might make some purchases myself. Looking at that, because it hasn't sold as much as I was expecting, and I know that there's a very decent chance that we're going to see some more pizza skins being made and accepted in the future. That is looking quite appealing to me. I am considering buying these. It's looking good. But again, best thing to do, wait till Wednesday or Thursday, then make a move. That's the smart approach. So that's what I would do. So yeah. Now we're going to move on to the No Mercy double barrel shotgun. Now, in terms of double barrel shotgun skins that were accepted last year, it was a lot. I've made this point so many times throughout all of last year, so this is the first one to be accepted this year. However, it's part of No Mercy collection. We'll talk about that in a second. But yeah, last year, 11 double barrel shotgun skins were accepted. Right now, prices are still okay. Some of the double barrel shotgun skins that we see here are doing quite alright. Quite a lot of them, not so much. But yeah, in the previous years, we used to hardly ever see any of them being accepted. But suddenly, all of last year, 11 of them were accepted. Now, when you compare that to the likes of the pump shotgun and the water pipe shotgun, both of those only had one skin accepted, so that was awkward. But anyway, we have a new No Mercy double barrel shotgun. And let me point out to you, No Mercy collection is the biggest collection with the most skins accepted. Got a whole bunch of selections here, gentlemen, and many attempts in the past. But yeah, we have the double barrel shotgun. We need to discuss, is it looking to be a perfectly fine thing to put our money towards? Well, do you know what we need to do? We need to... Oh, no, not that. Oh, no, not that. We're not talking about Thompson. No, we're talking about double barrel shotguns. What we need to do is we need to take a look and see what are the cheapest double barrel shotgun skins at the moment. Or how cheap does it get? So yeah, there are a lot of them that are just barely above $1. Quite a lot of them, even during these good times. Now, again, we need to point out, this is part of a collection that people really do care about. So what's the best thing that we can compare it to? Well, we did see a Cold Hunter Thompson... Thompson! No! We did see the likes of a Cold Hunter double barrel shotgun being accepted towards the end of 2022. Now, that is part of a big collection. And honestly, I think maybe this is the best thing to compare it to, because that sold for $2.49 and this is selling for $2.49. This had 12,000 sales. At the moment, this has 8,700 sales. So I reckon we're going to probably end up with maybe around... We're probably going to end up maybe about 13 to 15,000 sales. Maybe this isn't the best thing to compare it to. Maybe it's the tempered double barrel shotgun, as you can see here, but that sold for $3.49. But the tempered collection is definitely... At the moment, it's getting a whole lot more momentum and attraction compared to the No Mercy collection, but they both are big collections. So maybe the No Mercy, the tempered double barrel shotgun is the best thing to compare it to. So we'll go take a look at this. We'll see how it behaved. And well, throughout all of 2022, it just went down in price. So for the longest time... let me just refresh. So for the longest time, this was not selling very nicely. It was selling below its rust price. At its cheapest, it was selling for $2. This was a $3.49 skin. However, right now, this is now selling for $4.20. But it took until the end of this year, or rather, it took until the end of that year, post-Christmas time, to eventually go up in price and be profitable. So that right there isn't looking very appealing to me. We'll also do Cold Hunter as well. Now, I know Cold Hunter struggled for a long time. So yeah, as we can see, oh no, not GBP, want to take a look at the USD, $2.42, very nice. Has a reasonable amount of quantity, yep. And as we scroll down, we'll take a look, and what we see, it dipped quite badly towards the end of October. This point selling for around $1.50 almost. But of course, towards the end of the year, it jumped up, went very nicely. Steadily went up in price, is what I should say. But it took until a post-Christmas time for this to become match up to the price it sold for. So what I'm going to say here is I'm not going to be surprised in the slightest if this is going to go below its rust price. And you've also got to remember, we're still in the good times. The prices are eventually all going to drop. We're going to end up in bad times again. This right here very likely could end up much like the tempered and the Cold Hunter double barrel shotgun. There's a decent chance this is going to end up at around $1.50, maybe less. So at the moment, I'm going to sit here and say I'm probably at most going to offer about $1.50 as a buy order. And it's also abnormal, so we don't need to rush into it. We can consider doing our buy orders first, then we'll look at the buy order support afterwards, then we can make a consideration if we want to buy it afterwards. But at the moment, based on what I've seen with double barrel shotgun skins, I am not super keen with it, and I reckon it is going to struggle. So we'll have to wait for Wednesday, Thursday, talk about it then, and then we'll do our buy orders. But at the moment, not super keen with it. Then we got the Wasteland SAR, and well, unfortunately, and it's basically both of these skins, both of these guns. We see far too many SAR skins being accepted as of now. I just have to show you over the past 3 months. So yeah, past 3 months. What was the point I made? So if you look from the beginning of October. So here, so you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that is almost, I think that's like 12 to 15 weeks. We've had 10 SAR skins being accepted. That's ridiculous. Far too many have been accepted in such a short amount of time. And this trend is looking to be something that's going to stick. Like last year we had 18 SAR skins being accepted. The previous year we had 14. The previous year we had 11. SAR skins are becoming more and more popular in terms of submissions and being accepted. And it's starting to become very similar to the likes of the AK. We'll go take a look at the AK now. Now, this isn't a criticism on the skins. It's a criticism on the fact that so many of these guns get so many skins. So, yeah, pretty much the AK was near enough the exact same thing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 11 skins accepted in about 12 to 15 weeks. Yeah. So, with so many skins being accepted, this is the potential future for SAR skins. And yeah, there's not a lot of good there, is there? A lot of these are struggling. The Dead Souls AK, that's getting manipulated. So that is an anomaly. We're not going to care about that one. So pretty much every single recent one is not in the positive, is in the negative. That's not looking very good. So immediately I look at these two skins and I'm going to sit here and say, well, that's going to be a 70 cents to 90 cents buy order. Because you want to be able to buy it for a cheap enough price where you can turn it into metal and then sell the metal and make a profit. That is the unfortunate future for these two skins. And you are starting to see, what's the word? Fatigue? Yeah, fatigue over these skins, because then these are the least interested, in-demand skins out of all of the other skins this week. When we see skins that have hardly had any skins for a long time, items that have hardly had any skins for a long time, well, of course that's going to get all the interest. But these two, we see these pretty much every other week now. We don't care for them anymore. Now, you're going to sit there and say, oh, but I love my AK. Yeah, you do, but you've got to think in terms of how many AK skins exist now. Let's go see. Because Bipolar Penguin added this little extra thing. There are 178 AK-47 skins that are in the game. We are oversaturated with options. Don't tell me, oh, but I love my AK, you don't understand. No, buddy, I'm talking about in terms of what's available. You know, every time we get something new, someone can look at that and just say, well, I've already got something that looks like that and is better. You know, do you get what I mean? There's, you know, they'll buy this AK, for example, and then next week there'll be another AK and they'll think, oh, well, throw that one, I get the new one. And then there'll be another new one, I'll throw that one and I get the new one. That's what happens. That's another thing that happens, at least. So, yes, this is a continuation of the Wasteland collection. Congratulations there, Andre. However, that didn't do super well. That AK didn't do super well. I worry. So, yeah, both of these are in that same position where they've had far too many being accepted in such a short amount of time. They are likely going to be going below their rust-or price. And that is my expectation. And we can worry about that until the next rotation. But as of now, based on demand, based on what I've seen in terms of acceptances recently, it's not looking good. It's not looking good. And that, gentlemen, that's all of the skins this week. So we now need to talk about what we're potentially going to see in the future. So if you want to wear, it's going to be a wipe day next week. It's going to be a wipe day rust-or rotation on February 2nd. We are expecting the industrial update, aren't we? And, well, with loads of new content, loads of people will potentially be jumping back in and wanting to play Rust. As of now, on this Saturday, we have a peak player amount of 137,000 people playing at the moment. Very nice. And that's matching up to during the best times, as in the wipe day days, 137,000 there on July. That's for a wipe day. Today is the last weekend of the month. So we have Hedge, come on, speak. We have a lot of momentum still, and with the update next week, with the wipe day next week, we could potentially see just as many people playing as we did for the wipe day on January. So I'm expecting a lot of people playing. I'm expecting the Rust skins to still hold up very nicely. But most importantly, in terms of the Rust-or rotation, because we are, and I will point this out now, if we go over to Workshop, just go over to here, we're going to go over to Rust. You might have noticed that there's a whole bunch of Valentine skins being submitted, yes, for this weekend, or rather this week. Only Valentine skins are to be submitted. So get a good look at all of that. That right there is actually a continuation that I see right there. But yeah, point I want to get across, we are only seeing Valentine skins being submitted. That means all the skins that we've seen in the previous weeks that weren't accepted, they are in contention for the wipe day. They are in contention for the wipe day. And I've mentioned this before, I wouldn't be surprised, and you have to understand this, with a whole lot more people expected to be playing on that day, there is an improved chance, or there's for sure a whole lot more people are going to see that Rust-or, and they are more than likely going to want to buy those skins. So what I'm saying is, with more people playing, more people seeing the Rust-or, more skins are expected to be sold. It wouldn't be a surprise if Facepunch probably held back those skins that they think are going to sell the best, and then they put them out for a wipe day. I'm talking Redemption Thompson. I'm talking Tempered Small Box. I'm talking one of the various tier 3 armours that we saw. Apostate, JPEG. What was the other ones? Cybercode and Frog Cosplay, yeah. Now, Frog Cosplay and Tempered Small Box are made by the same person, so that might be a bit of a clash there. But we also have the likes of Elite Crate Tier 2. We also have the likes of Frosty version 2 hoodie pants. You know, there's a lot of potential clothing skins that could be accepted that haven't been accepted because we got these accepted instead. But again, remember what I said, this is probably the wacky week. They'll accept the things that hardly ever get skins ever accepted, but just because it's the wacky week, it's the last week of the month. But for next week, I'm expecting the usual. I'm expecting good armour, good clothing, maybe a cool looking door. You know, there's a lot of very interesting potential things that have been held back as of now, but likely will appear next week. So if you see a very cool looking Rust rotation next week, wouldn't be surprised. It's all about making the better profits, I guess you could say. So, yes, Rust skin prices still holding up very nicely. The tempered large box has held up quite reasonably okay. That tempered small box wouldn't be surprised in the slightest if it is accepted. But if we do see Frog Cosplay Tier 3 being accepted instead, fair play, you know, people do like that. Maybe that'll get accepted sometime later in the future. But what you have to understand is next week is Wipe Day rotation, and then the week after that, Valentines Skins. So, Valentine Skins. You might not have noticed, but that right there is a continuation of the large box that we got last year. This is made by and all I have to do is I have to just click this, go over to down to here, and yep, Valentine's. Do you remember the large box right here made by So we're seeing skin continuations. Gentlemen, I wonder what things we might need to be prepared for potentially appearing or being submitted where we could maybe see some decent profits being made. Oh, I don't know. What do you reckon? What do you reckon might be the very nice things to potentially put our money towards? Well, maybe we might see Tier 2 Lovestruck being accepted. Maybe we might see Wings of Love getting some more core pieces being accepted. Now, you might have noticed that these prices are doing quite alright at the moment. Now, by default they did because of post-Christmas, but there is growing interest behind them because people are rubbing their hands expecting that we're going to get a full pink set soon. Yes. Is it going to happen? I can't guarantee it, but I wouldn't be surprised in the slightest. Why would Bad Trip not want to do it? Think of a good enough reason why he would not want to have a Tier 2 being submitted and then potentially accepted. Like, that right there. With the amount of sales that these had, I fully expect it to happen. I can't guarantee it, but I wouldn't be surprised if it happens. Now, with the Wings of Love, made by Eros, who's been getting a lot of skins accepted recently, maybe we could take a look and see, are we potentially going to see more being accepted? Will you continue this collection? It's very nice. Yes, I'll make continuation of this collection on February 14th. There you go! Just with a little bit of research and looking into everything. Yes, it's right there. It's right there. And apparently it's Sharp Shot that asked. Hey, Sharp Shot, how you doing? So yeah, we got the scoop. We know that these are likely going to be getting some more skins being made and potentially accepted. And that means core pieces, more pieces being accepted. More core pieces being accepted would mean that these are likely going to jump up in price and they're going to be very profitable. So yeah, that's on the horizon, gentlemen. And we could expect some more continuations of these skins as well. So let's just wait and see. Let's see what happens in the future. That is this week, gentlemen. As I said, all of these skins still holding up very nicely. Players are still here. Life is good. Oh yeah, I'm playing properly again now. No, well, not very properly. I'm on my Twitch. I'm trying to get back into Modern Rust. For a long time, I didn't play that much because I have a job. It's a shame. But I have been playing a whole lot more recently, trying to get back into groove. I'm not very good, but I'm slowly regaining everything and having to deal with people randomly jumping in and say, hey, Hedge, because they're stream sniping me. But yeah, I do want to play with others, but I just want to kind of get everything like back into the groove of remembering how to do everything as a solo. So when you're in a group, you're not just sitting there and having everyone carry you. I want to make sure that I can also take part and enjoy myself. But yeah, a lot of my server want to do a village. Don't know how well that's going to go. We're going to have some very weird laws. But yeah, I'm doing that at the moment. I'm one of these people, or I will be soon. So, yep, gentlemen, thank you very much for watching this. I hope you are rubbing your hands and thinking of potential nice profits to be made. Putting your money towards, your profits from post-Christmas, putting it towards certain things and whatnot. Let's see what happens this year, and let's see if we potentially get some very interesting Valentine skins. Let's see if we potentially see any more submissions for these collections. Have a good one. Thank you very much.